To you, it's 7 minutes after 7. My name is Kobe Spike and Kruma. You're tuned in to Joy 99.7 FM on a Tuesday. At this time, it means we're about to talk tech. And yes, you haven't heard my voice in a couple of weeks thanks to the Champions League. But yeah, there's no Champions League today. Even if there is, we still have a show.
Yeah, because the real champions are back.
We did what?
The real champions are back.
Yeah. You know, this should have been Abeku's cue to play "We Are the Champions." You know, Queens.
And he's here just smiling at us.
Yeah, Charlie, you should be faster than us, man. Before we think, you thought. You know, shout out to Abeku, our producer, always holding us down. And in the studio, you probably already heard his voice. That's Michael Ajete, aka at Majestic Majete on Twitter, and Mr. Oche at Mr. Oche.
Good evening, listeners and viewers. Viewers.
Oh yeah, good evening to everyone. We're available on Facebook Live, on YouTube Live. You can tweet at us using the hashtag Joy Geek Squad, and you can join us on Telegram. It's t.me/Joy Geek Squad. And if you missed any of our episodes since we started running this show, you can find it on Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, Spotify, on my Joy Online app, on the Other Online app, or you can even search for us on YouTube. Any episode you missed, just search for it. Or if you just want to play the Russian roulette, just hashtag Joy Geek Squad. Spin it wherever it lands. Listen, trust us, every episode is worth it. Yeah. And so back to us in the studio. Today we're just about to bring you guys up to speed on all the things that have been happening in the world of tech. In case you missed it, ICYMI. If you've seen that anywhere on the internet, that's what it means. If you see ICYMI, it's in case you missed it. So yeah, it's a term that's on the
Is that a tech jargon
internet.
of the week as well?
What?
Is that a tech jargon?
Yeah, that's tech jargon of the week. Inadvertently. And let me add one more. TLDR. So if you see TLDR, it's too long, didn't read. Yeah.
Derivative, too long, didn't watch.
Yeah,
True,
I'm basically
true.
asking you to just summarize, bro.
Yeah, that's all they're asking you to do. So I'm gonna go straight to Winston, the newsman, and yo, Abeku, I composed a very nice news soundtrack that you're supposed to play. The last time I heard a thing come on my, in my playlist on my car, and I was like, wow, what song is that? Forgetting that I composed it. I'll send it to you, don't worry.
Again.
So yes.
All right. So, how do we want to start it? Do we want to start with Daddy Elon? Do we want?
Oh
to
yeah.
start
So, just so you know, I'm no longer verified.
I didn't even check. I thought, okay, then since we are on the Twitter. So, if you didn't know, Twitter has been an interesting mess. An interesting mess to the point where people are considering legal action. So, listeners, if you didn't know this, Daddy Elon has finally rolled out what he said he would do, which was he was going to remove all legacy blue check marks. So people who Twitter had evaluated and felt were reputable people and needed to be verified on the platform were given blue checks, like our dear Spikey here.
Yay.
Now, a week ago, he started taking that away because he says it's now to get the check mark, you have to pay for Twitter Blue, which is, I think, $7.
If you're paying annually.
Annually, yeah, $8, $7 to $8 for a whole per month for a year. So many people were like, you know what, this doesn't matter, we don't want it. A lot of celebrities were like, we're not going to pay for this, and they didn't. So some people's check marks were taken away, but interesting enough, some people's check marks were not taken away.
Some people's check marks were being paid for by Elon Musk.
Allegedly, he claimed he paid for people like LeBron James and a few others.
Yeah.
But then there was an issue where there were certain people whose check marks left and came back, and then other people whose check marks left. For instance, KSI. KSI's check mark left.
KSI is in Kumasi.
No, KSI as the YouTube personality. It's one of the biggest YouTube personalities.
Not everybody knows all the YouTube personalities.
Do you know the funniest thing? I watched the KSI video recently where he was reacting to Ghanaian movie trailers, and in the trailer they were like distribution KSI, and he was like, "Why's my name?"
They should be paying us royalties, giving our initials like that.
So he paid for Twitter Blue, but he didn't get it. So it's a whole mess.
His own is a fearful.
Yeah. So now the reason why certain people are considering legal action is because certain celebrities swore to their fans that they would never pay for Twitter Blue. But
Beyonce is not verified.
Yes.
Cristiano Ronaldo isn't either.
Yeah. But some of them who said they would not pay for Twitter Blue all of a sudden have the blue check mark. And they are telling their fans that they didn't pay for it. So they don't know what's going on. So people are saying that this could potentially be counted as defamation. So certain people
because you're saying I'm lying.
Yeah, caught in the idea of making it illegal. But this is a very interesting thing. And of course, Michael doesn't particularly care. But Spikey, since you have
there's one hilarious offshoot of this where a parody Nintendo account got the check mark.
And a parody Disney account also got a check mark.
Interesting times, Daddy Elon.
Yeah, you have been affected. So tell us. How does it feel when you woke up and the check mark wasn't there?
I didn't even notice till like a few days after.
Oh, okay.
You know, I mean, not.
So they didn't even send you a message.
I didn't even know when it happened. One day I was just there and I saw that I wasn't there. I'm not going to miss it anyway.
So they didn't be like, oh, bro, we removed the check mark.
We removed the check. Nah.
No
courtesy. I was just there and then I just noticed that, oh, it's not there. Okay. The only difference is that there's no verified paying panel or tab in my Twitter notifications. So, and see, I have better things to do with my money than to pay $8 a month for what? Longer tweets, longer videos. I don't even tweet that much.
Edits, and also you kind of get some pseudo preferential treatment where your tweets are pushed a little more.
I would rather pay for Spotify and listen to music.
Although you'd rather pay for touch-up paint on your car since it's the same color.
Wow.
Blue.
Yes, on it.
Oh yeah, I'd rather pay for Telegram Premium.
Peace. Yeah, we just had to go there.
Yeah, I just had to do that. I just had to. I mean, look at the benefits of free Telegram, Seth. Have you seen Telegram group statistics?
To be fair, I don't use Telegram as much.
I know, but I'm just saying. If you ever did, you see, and that's the thing. If people use Telegram, they'd realize why we're wasting. Anyways, that's
so listeners, let us know what you think about, and lawyers, especially people who listen to our show and are lawyers. Let us know. Do you think that people could actually go to court for this entire?
For being verified against
their will? Or what is it really against your will? Because when they are verifying you the first time, legacy verification, do they come and call you and be like, bro, I they verify you?
No.
They just do it.
They just do it.
Yeah. So it's a very interesting situation.
So yeah, we would like to hear from you. 055 quadruple 1997 055 1111 997 055 997. Send us a WhatsApp message. Tell us, what have you been up to in the tech world? What's really buzzing and, making your clock tick? I know some people are talking about Bard right now being available to everyone.
It's available to everybody now.
Yeah, Bard is now available. I'm no longer using a VPN to access Bard.
I've always been, my VPN, because of Bard, my VPN has always been on. Yeah, so I haven't noticed.
You know the funny thing? Since the advent of Bard and, ChatGPT powered Bing, I find myself searching, like a typical normal internet user, and then realizing this could have been done much easier. But the thing is, I always have two windows, actually three. I have Bard open, I have ChatGPT open, and then I have Bing open, and I copy the question and ask all three of them.
Which has been the best in your experience?
So it's very, very different. Sometimes I like the presentation of Bard. Sometimes I like the detailed responses that I get from Bing
and
ChatGPT. But surprisingly, Bing ChatGPT gives me different answers from ChatGPT itself.
Yeah.
ChatGPT, I've come to be able to predict its language.
Yeah.
It's very predictable now. But Bard and Bing powered ChatGPT are quite different. They vary in communication styles, unlike legacy chat. See, all of a sudden ChatGPT has become legacy.
Personally, after my extensive use, I prefer Bard. There's just a few. Okay, so if you guys didn't know, we are talking about Google's AI chatbots, which is
Google's answer to ChatGPT.
It's called Bard. It's currently based on what Spike is saying, open to everybody. It's an open beta now. We were in the closed beta. It was very interesting. It got an update recently, like in April, early week of April, that allowed it to be able to code.
I
haven't used it extensively for coding yet, but in my short experience, I feel like Bard the only thing I don't like about Bard is that for some strange reason, this is just me nitpicking, and I think you told me you prefer the opposite, where with ChatGPT, when you type it in, it kind of loads, so you see it writing it out.
Where it's typing,
but Bard just drops boom. It. Bard is super fast.
It's very fast,
super fast in giving you responses. And when it drops the response, you have 3 choices from all these responses. So off the top, it gives you 3 choices that you can pick from what you like, and you keep the pushing. In my experience, Bard has given me better contextual understanding of things that I wanted to do. Like I asked Bard to put together a workout program with these parameters over this period of time, taking into consideration create a meal plan to go along with this that will drop weight from point A to B. It gave me a detailed plan, like it was like Monday rest, Tuesday upper body, do this. It did everything, and then it gave the food. It didn't give the food the portions though, but when I put in ChatGPT, Charlie, it wasn't very satisfactory. It just lists some of the exercises you can do to this way. It wasn't very contextual in everything. So, and I know it's also bad. Also, Bing also has it, but I just love the fact that you can just click Google it. Whatever answer Bard gives you, you can just click
search it. On Google.
Click Google it, and it will Google it. So if it's lying, you catch it instantly, and that's been very, very.
So yes, for listeners, if you want to try any AI assistant right now, there's a plethora of them out there now. You have Bing, you have Bard, and then you have ChatGPT, which is good because it means that there's going to be a lot of weight taken off ChatGPT for now.
In terms of the load.
In terms of the load and the traffic to the sites. But just play along with it. Let's see what people can do with it. Speaking of which, I've seen a lot of people doing impressive stuff with ChatGPT and all this AI stuff. One such was Wolverine. You guys heard of Wolverine?
No.
So, very interesting stuff. If you're a developer, you'd love Wolverine. I'm sure you probably have heard about it already. What it does is Wolverine debugs your code. So, it feeds your code into ChatGPT and sort of keeps checking the errors, going back, editing. So it finds an error, it will debug it, sort it out, move on to the next line, debug, sort it out until it's done.
Well, that means that Wolverine might be similar to the new rave, which is AutoGPT.
Yes.
AutoGPT is madness. You know, when a few weeks ago we talked about how these Elon Musk and a few of these prominent people, Steve Wozniak, were like, you know what, we need to relax on this AI stuff. And then AutoGPT. So basically, AutoGPT is ChatGPT, but with present-day access to the internet, where not only is it pre-trained, it actually learns. So it has understanding of context. So it keeps. So typically, because ChatGPT is pre-trained, it does keep the information in, but you have to go back to your previous chat, and then it kind of goes to your previous chat to know that, okay, this is what you're talking about, let's keep pushing. AutoGPT knows everything, and it knows, it has context, so you don't have to do,
it knows everything.
You don't have to go through the forget this, start all over. Now it just understands context, and it obtains information from the internet live. So the good thing
just
about,
like Bard,
it's learning. And it's like you said with Wolverine, it will scour the internet to get you the best answer. If you say you don't like this answer, it will go back and keep doing it. So it's basically a live version of ChatGPT, and it's very interesting. But my reason, I support Bard. I'm on Team Bard because
Team Google.
Not just because I'm Team Google, but I am thinking by next year, if Bard is solid by the end of this year, Bard is going to merge with Duplex.
That would be very. I know you've been looking forward to Duplex.
Yeah, but that when they met, so Duplex is this AI voice system attached to the Google Assistant that Google made in 2018 that was so uncannily human that the public were like, Google should not roll this out because people would not be able to tell it was a real human that had made a call or was the duplex assistant. Now imagine that assistant with all the pre-trained information or capabilities of Bard. That's Jarvis. That's the Iron Man thing we've all been looking forward to.
You know, one thing that's very interesting, our resident Apple user is not really saying much because what's happening in the home of Apple, Michael? Are they not catching up to the AI buzz? Or they're still on their mixed reality?
They have been very unnervingly quiet.
Yes.
It's
very quiet.
But isn't that what they do normally?
Quiet till they drop something.
Yeah, till they drop something and suddenly they're like, oh, where did this come from?
Well, we've seen
and
what's
granted,
capable of, and it's not impressive.
Well, that's true. And at the same time, too, leaks have really increased. So, yeah, maybe they just decided why waste their time doing when everybody else is doing it.
Well,
money?
It's not going to bring money.
What money is it bringing?
You can't charge anybody money
You can't charge anybody.
You think these people can't charge premium Siri? Oh, guys, let's be real. Let's be honest here.
Apple will charge premium
Siri Plus. I can see my Siri Plus.
They even have a workout that they are charging. Like, guys, come on.
I mean, it's surprising because even Facebook has done a complete Meta has done a complete U-turn on. I'm wondering, is Mark gonna wake up and say, we're no longer Meta, we are May I?
Yeah, that name was because of their whole rebrand.
Yeah.
And they've done a complete U-turn.
If you didn't know, listeners, Meta says that they are done with the metaverse. No source. So we are putting it on ice for now. Which, like Spikey said, it creates a conundrum because you rename your company after this new technology that you thought was going to change the world, and now you are saying won't play again.
Won't do again.
But the rumors from Apple camp are that Apple's VR headset is coming this year.
That's an interesting one.
Who's concerned about VR?
You see,
here's the thing with it's not VR so much as it is AR. Apple's AR is ahead of the curve with the LiDAR technology. Now, if they can make it arguably, and I have to put that word there because people will jump on me, if we can make it as arguably as accessible as the rest of their Apple platform is, it may be what pushes AR.
Hold on. Did you mention accessible and Apple in the same sentence?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Prefaced by the word arguably so that you will not say anything.
Continue.
So, interestingly, for those listening, we've seen Microsoft jump on AI, we've seen Google jump on AI, OpenAI, who started ChatGPT, and even Facebook at the time was, also testing an AI.
Yeah, but it wasn't really the face of their.
It wasn't really their main focus. That was the one that said our movement was not efficient enough and started developing its own way to move, and they shut it down.
But I just realized that Google would have been on top of this AI thing if they hadn't gotten that much backlash for Google Duplex
and a lot of regulation stuff as well. Because
the Duplex thing really slowed them down. A lot.
Well, if you watch Sundar Pichai's interview on 60 Minutes, a lot was said. So yes, if you want to know more about that, go Google it.
He did say some scary stuff. You personally.
And when we talk about scary stuff, I'm sure some of you have heard of Chaos GPT.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that in a bit. We're going to go for a quick commercial break. When I come back, I'll read your WhatsApp messages. And yes, we're catching up on what's happening in the world of tech on Joy Geek Squad. We'll be right back.
Doing gets you learning. Learning starts you wondering. Wondering triggers thinking. Thinking becomes planning. Planning evolves to trying. After trying, you're succeeding, winning, owning. Now, doing that starts with outdoing your limits. Outdo them all with MTN. So, what are we doing today?
And we're back. So we're about to read your messages, and in the interim, okay, let me read the message. Nee in Dakuman says, "Good evening, fellow geeks. I have a MacBook Pro and I want to know how I can get it compatible with MS Office and other non-Apple applications, and how can I cut down its consumption of my internet data." Well, there's an app on Apple on macOS called Little Snitch. If you install it, to let you know which apps are accessing the internet, and you can block it. Yeah, Little Snitch.
And I think you can pay for Microsoft Office on.
Yes, there's Microsoft Office 365 available on Mac. But question, are you using Intel Mac or M1, M2 Mac? That's also very important. If you're using Intel Mac and you don't mind dual booting Windows in case that's your thing.
Yeah, let's not go there. Okay. Just buy it.
yeah, you can buy it as well. So Kofi Spintex says, "Hi Kobe, you guys are doing a good job out there. Thank you. Quick question: Do we have to actually pay or buy credits to be able to use ChatGPT?"
Yes and no.
So from the ChatGPT ambassador.
So yes, in the sense that if you want to get access to the API, to get deep access to the ChatGPT, where you can train it yourself and you can actually create your own version of ChatGPT, that's when you do have to pay credits. There's a fixed number. So it's about, there's this structure. I think each word is 1 credit, but each word is narrowed down to a 4-letter word. There's this whole thing where they about it. So the credits only come into play when you want to create your own version and train it with your own personal information. Right. It's the same for things like Stable Diffusion and a few others. They have some back-end APIs you can get access to. But the free version of ChatGPT, where you can't train it, is just doing its thing. Nowadays, it's free. You don't pay any credits. You just keep it pushing.
Great. Kofi Michelle Camp says, "What app can I use to effectively and efficiently record long audio and transcribe into text with precision?" First of all, one thing that may contribute to your precision may be the person's accent. Yeah. So there are a lot of apps that can do this. Dragon Dictation, even your phone, your smartphone's keyboard can automatically do speech to text. So there's a lot of speech to text apps out there. But it's heavily dependent on how the person is speaking, and the accents would dictate whether it will be very precise.
Yeah, because not. Even Samsung, for example, Samsung Notes, you can say whatever you want to say, and then it will write it out.
Every laptop can do that. Yeah, right? Every computer, every smart
But if
device.
You want it deep, like let's say for instance you recorded a video, Premiere Pro also has a feature that allows you to transcribe and then add subtitles into the video as it goes. I think it's a newer 2023 version.
I think Google has something of the sort. I don't know. There's an enterprise level Google product in Google Cloud that does transcription very accurately. Yeah. But if it's enterprise level, that means you're going to pay. We're looking at something around $300.
I do believe that if done correct, set up correctly, you can get the first year free. Then afterwards you have to pay. Yeah,
so you can try it for free. So if you're not going to be using it subsequently, then yes, do that. If not, look for some of the free alternatives and try. And Anakwesi said, "You've been missed like a penalty. Holiday is not pension. Welcome back. I trust you all healthy." Elon Cash has been waiting for Geek Squad to discuss him. Murder the situation because you ain't going to jail for it. Sweet murder. Thanks, Anakwesi. We will try to murder the situation.
I mean, you can't kill it any more than he's killed Twitter.
Yeah, he's killed. Speaking of which, let's just go back to Twitter. Jack Dorsey is launching another Twitter called Blue Sky.
Yes, we move blue, huh?
Yeah. I mean,
and isn't there like a copyright on that name, the Blue Sky?
Well, here in Ghana.
Not here in Ghana. Like
in Ghana, it's Blue Skies.
No, because I know there's a Blue Sky production company.
Well, it's an app.
Okay. Fair.
It's just like saying that because it's Coca-Cola, I can't say my own is something cola.
Fair.
So yes, Blue Sky. Okay. So I've seen people. Well, the question is, would people actually migrate to another platform if there was? And Jack Dorsey's launch, it's open. If you want to be on the wait list, you can go to Blue Sky and search for it, put your email in there, be on the waiting list. If you're allowed in, you'll be one of the early birds. that flew in from Twitter.
To be honest, I thought Twitter would have had its death. There have been several times where I thought Twitter would have died out the way Facebook just died out. The way people just migrated off of Facebook.
You think?
And I thought that the Elon drama would have really, really, really stand, because the way people are like, Twitter is not great anymore. I thought people are like, oh,
I thought people wake up and then they stop using it.
Yeah, just leave. But yeah, so I don't think another app, unless you provide such a unique value proposition, I don't think.
There's a thing with people. Humans don't really like change that much. So unless it really gets unbearable, or unless it will take a very an exodus of people moving to blue skies to cause the rest to move.
Yeah. And
I use this example. Let me just reference BlackBerry. BBM was the thing.
Yeah.
But when WhatsApp, we're one of the few people who were using WhatsApp and trying to get people to move. Was like, why should I be on one platform when I can be cross-platform?
Yeah.
Let's all just move to WhatsApp. Now here's me trying to do that again with Telegram. It's funny. I've been doing that.
You've been doing that for a while.
Yeah, I switched from Symbian to BlackBerry. Everybody else was on Symbian. Moved from BlackBerry to iOS, and everybody was on BlackBerry. Moved from iOS to Android, and everybody's on iOS now. When they come waiting, what's next? We live to see.
Hey, actually, you might be interested in using the new AR OSs when they come out. Actually, you there. As soon as a proper AR OS comes out, I know you'll be there first person.
I'll scoff.
That was only because you get there before I will. No problem.
Okay, so should we go back into AI? There's some new hullabaloo in
we said we're going to talk about Chaos GPT.
Okay, but let's deal with the hullabaloo in your industry.
Hullabaloo for me.
So AI songs
music
has been a whole new situation for like a couple of weeks now. So if you didn't know, people have been recreating songs using different artists' voices.
Creating songs.
I mean, okay, cool. So basically, a very popular one was a song with Drake and The Weeknd, where they someone, I've forgotten his name, he's some DJ, he created a song with Drake and The Weeknd on it. The very impressive
with Drake and Weeknd.
Yeah, the very impressive one, which is I'm surprised people find it impressive, because Ariana Grande is an amazing artist, and if you've watched Wheel of Musical Impressions on the Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon, she is very good at doing impressions. But basically, they've had Ariana Grande perform some of the Drake songs, and they put it out on Spotify, and it's created a lot of controversy. Because our copyright claims are coming in. There's a lot of
labels.
Even David Guetta, you talked about this before, who made a song with Eminem's voice, but Eminem was in the studio with him. He wasn't shooting the gym with him, but like he's made a song and he performed it and everything. So it's now become a whole new controversy. Today, I think yesterday or today, Spotify removed the AI Weeknd and Drake song.
It was actually the day before yesterday.
Yeah, they've taken it off the platform, and they are taking off AI
on YouTube. Song. It's off for YouTube as well.
Yeah, but there are other people.
People made money.
They did.
They made money,
and it's very weird because people like David Guetta are all for it. And interestingly, today Grimes. And now, if you didn't know Grimes, we are going back to Daddy Elon. Grimes is Daddy Elon's ex and baby mama, and she says she's come out to say that anyone can use her voice for AI generated music. Now the question here is that does your production company also say the same thing?
So that's if she's on a label. Now this is very interesting, conversation, because intellectual property is very, very dicey.
Yes.
We've seen what's his name, Robin Thicke. Was that Robin Thicke? Or the song, the Bloodline song, it was Pharrell and Robin Thicke. Yeah. Right? Yes. They were sued.
Yes.
By this guy's estate, Marvin Gaye's estate. Now, the reason why this was very interesting was because they didn't sue because it was a direct copyright infringement, like they copied the song. They said they copied the feel of his songs. And what's the feel of a song? Bro. Like, Charlie, why are you copying my vibe?
Yeah.
You copied my vibe. I sue you and I won.
It's very similar to this whole AI art thing. Because now we are going into the territory of what is creativity.
Yeah.
what is creativity?
What is original?
What is original? Because if Drake sang this song, but I took Drake's voice and I gave him totally different lyrics, and Drake never was in the studio recording this, and it's a good song, can Drake take it?
So here's the thing. Here's what I believe, and this is back to my pitch. Oh, let me get this money and build this platform, and I'll be a billionaire. NFTs.
Yes.
Remember, I've been talking about this thing, the blockchain. You know, the NFT, the whole NFT thing can let us identify who the rightful owner of something is, even if somebody uses your image or your voice to create something. It should be able to be. You should be able to earn royalties from said AI creation. So if an AI tool borrowed my artistic style and created art, I should be credited in whatever it's making. So it's like the way in music we have split sheets where if you were in the studio with me and then while we're doing the song you said, hey.
You know, this thing that you said just goes to a real life situation.
Which we are not going to talk about. But the fact that you said, hey, you should be listed as one of the writers on the song.
Yeah.
You know, when we were putting the lyrics down, we put Winston. Hey.
You know, people
will give you a percentage.
Yeah, people think that it's a joke, but I talked about this in a group Spike and where one of my favorite music groups, the Migos, they did a song called Too Hotty, and there was just this vocal. This woman who just did that vocal, and it was something they paid for online, and they just put it in the song. They got a copyright thing, and now the song has her as a feature on it.
Exactly.
And you have to pay.
If you want to know how this works, if you're one who uses Spotify or Apple Music, I can't speak too much for Apple Music, but I know very well on Spotify. If you go to any song and you go to the details, it lets you know all the people who worked on the song. You'd be surprised to see some names that you didn't hear their voices on the song, but they've been credited there. That means that they're also earning a royalty or two from that whole thing. Let's go back to the example that you gave. You know, T.I. and Kendrick Lamar and B.O.B. had a song called Memories back then. And the original one was made using a sample from Gautier, somebody that I used to know. Mm-hmm. So that they just borrowed that, chopped it up, and put it on the song. Gautier sued them that they couldn't use that without their permission. Guess what happened? They went all over the internet and took down the song from wherever it was posted, recorded a new one with different instrumentals, and released that instead. That's how powerful this is.
You don't want to be paying $5,000 a day like Diddy is paying.
Or you don't want 85% of your songs royalties to go to Sting just because you woke up and did an interpolation of his music. You know, that's what happened to Juice WRLD as well.
Yeah. But if you didn't know, Diddy pays
he said it was a joke, actually.
It was a joke.
He said it was a joke.
But he pays.
But I know he pays.
It's not $5,000. It's not for free.
I mean, it could, because Sting did say that money could put his children through college.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he's paying. He may not be paying $5,000 a day as... Well, Sting said $2,000 a day.
Mm-hmm.
And then he said it was $5,000 a day. Wow.
That's wild. Anyway, but so now people on the internet seem to think that this AI generated music is going to help the little man. Mm-hmm. I am on the other side. I think you are about to make record labels so much money, because here's the thing. I mean, I know you talk about the whole copyright thing, and here's the first thing the individual needs to understand is that if a record label say they are taking you to court, they have all the money and time in the world to keep this thing in court, and you would exhaust all your resources and you're donezo, right? But the most interesting thing that a record label could do this is post-mortem albums. They can now actually create proper post-mortem albums, because if, let's say, Juice WRLD has all his lyrics, he's written it in a book and someone has it, they can just train an AI with his voice and the way he delivers his flow
tracks,
and they just feed the lyrics into it, and they've dropped it. They're still making money off of this person. It is so. Don't ever think that the record labels are going to lose from this.
No.
On the contrary,
Y3K, Michael Jackson new album.
Yes, we're going to see a lot of postmortem albums just dropping all over the place.
Like this. Wow, I've just gotten a whole epiphany, because when I mentioned the whole Michael Jackson Thriller, I remember the movie the Michael Jackson Thriller movie.
Yeah.
Imagine that they remake it using AI, remake songs, lyrics.
I'm at least thankful that AI isn't good at making movies yet.
Yet. It actually, I watched a 9-minute video where there was I wouldn't call it a movie, but it was a short film written everything by an AI.
Yeah.
With even voices synthesized.
Mm-hmm. I heard about it.
With Donald Trump, in there, Biden in there, Vladimir Putin in there. It was very impressive. Sorry. It was very, very impressive. I've been trying to download it, but yeah, just so I could reshare it with other people. I think AI is getting there. The old AI movies were really rubbish.
Yeah, but now, I mean, it's just learning, because if we think about when ChatGPT dropped, and now it's been 5-6 months. It's not even been 6 months, and see the things that GPT-4 is doing.
Now let's bring it to Ghana, where we are from. I'd like to think that a lot more businesses, a lot more industries in Ghana would be looking at how they could leverage artificial intelligence, because we've seen what's happening in the West. We've seen people create anime from pretty much action, real life action movies. Yeah. We've seen what we just discussed, music, people generating music from posthumous music. So some of our artists who've passed, has anybody thought about generating music? I want to hear AI High Life, for instance.
I want to hear AI Dasibre Jamna.
These are the questions I'm asking. Is Zingaro thinking about how he can use AI to improve his...
Zingaro there stood.
He did.
Okay.
To do some cartoons. There's so many questions I'm asking.
Well, to shamelessly plug our company, Control IT, I've actually written a prompt engineering course.
I saw.
And I don't know if I'll shoot it yet. I don't know.
You don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, yes, so you can still send us messages because we're running out of time. 055 111 055 1111 997 055 11 11 997. What is happening in the tech world today that's really blowing your mind besides AI? I mean, I can't go a day or a minute or an hour without AI coming into my conversation. I mean, Michael is looking at me like, I understand, bro. Siri Plus is not ready yet.
Now I'm just here thinking, actually, for the past week, maybe 2, I've not heard 10 about AI.
I think it's just because you've been at home the whole time.
I mean, fine.
Yes. You've just been
watching anime.
Yeah.
Actually, no. I spend more of my time watching tutorials because I'm trying to... I can't give you a deal, but I'm trying to do some engineering programming project, and it's driving me insane. From soldering to programming, and it's thinking, should I ask you? No, because last thing I want is 2 weeks of soldering and assembly to go and trust the programming to an AI, and because you use the wrong line, it blows my entire thing.
So that's why you can use Bard and just Google it. If it's lying, you catch it.
Well, I like to see said project.
Yeah.
So John Inoboko says, "Hello Geek Squad, I'm a great fan of the show. Thank you. Your Apple podcast has only 52 episodes. How so? How can I get the rest? I really enjoy the show." Chappelle John. Okay, so we will resolve that. Douglas, hello, General Chairman. Hey, me alone, my titles be that. Kobe Spike, Crow, Michael, and Winston. When is my phone coming? Google Pixel 5a. I'm beginning to fear. What are you fearing? What, AI? And so speaking of which, the fear. Isn't the AI Drake song Criminal? Doesn't it qualify for impersonation? That's from Nana Kwesi.
So
it is copyrights.
They're extremely very. It turns out that our laws today are not as robust as we thought they were, because
our laws never made provision for AI.
Well, our laws have historically been at best a year behind the times.
I think
it's always been reactive.
No, here's the thing. So now you are saying this is impersonation, right? Now, this particular AI conversation about the Drake song is very similar to what Internet Archive's lawsuits that they are going through. Because now the Internet Archive, I talked about this some weeks ago, is a platform where they created a digitizing platform for libraries. So each library has access to the Internet Archive, and the books they have in their library, the digital copy has been given to them. And they are only allowed to lend one of the digital copy to a person at a time, just like in every normal library. However, when COVID happened and people needed access to books, Internet Archive took it upon itself to expand and just allow people to borrow as much as possible. Now they've been sued by publications that it's against the law and that it's a copyright infringement type thing. But they did it because of the need. And in truth, in the law, there is nothing that categorically states that what they did was illegal. So it's the same with this. It's not that I chopped up Drake's song and I put it in my song. No, it is that I used a computer program that synthesized Drake's vocals and I fed it a whole new song. Now the question is, what if there's someone out there who sounds just like Drake? And he makes a song. Is that copyright infringement? So these are the aspects of it that we've never thought about, we've never had to contend with, and now we have to deal with today.
So Patrick says, how can we employ AI to fix Ghana's economy? Ha ha ha. Now I was really struggling to hold back, a guffaw. So George Kwe sends me a message, says, I want to hear AI patapa one corner. He said, go pop.
No. I think I would like to hear AI Michael Jackson doing patapas one corner.
Charlie,
Why are you like this?
Hey, bro, it's going to be interesting, don't you think?
Why?
Come on, guys.
I hate that you put this out.
It's already bad enough that...
Yeah.
Then he's coming to add...
I hate that you put this out in the world
like,
now.
somebody's going to do this.
Yes, the fact that you said...
Frankie, you should do this.
You should have told us this when we're not on air. Now you said it for the whole of Ghana to hear. Someone's going
AI
to do
Michael
this.
Jackson doing patapa. Wow.
Gosh.
It will be fun.
Wow.
It will be fun.
Wow.
The only
wasted.
thing is that we don't know if AI can be trained in tree yet.
Well, it doesn't... I don't think it's impossible, considering that Google already has a can in their database.
But it will be very interesting. Now I'm actually thinking about some of our legacy songs. Like imagine Bruno Mars singing like 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 Palm One music. Like, come on, guys. Ray Charles singing Daddy Lumber's Dr. Panier. Come on, guys. Yo.
This guy's just going, he's flipped off the handle. So Nana Kweku says, Charlie Spikey, since I chanced upon ChatGPT, my work output has been phenomenal. I'm so amazed at what it does. I tweet and write LinkedIn posts with cheeky ease. Well, yeah, why not?
Yeah, I like that cheeky ease.
Yeah, I mean, why not? I like that.
But to make it, you get to put some fear in you. That's why Goldman Sachs says that it's predicted about 300 million jobs
going to be
lost.
And I think that with the advent of AI, I believe and I strongly hope that a lot of industries, a lot of people would start to look for solutions to the jobs being... I mean, analyze your job. If it's just very, if you are very replaceable...
No, but think about this. So 300 billion jobs. I don't think there's ever been a time in tech where there's been an upsurge in one single technology that can affect such a significant population statistic. 300 million.
Well, that's because we have not evolved in our education. My personal opinion. I think that our education is as behind as our regulators.
I personally think it's more of a philosophical issue and a capitalistic issue.
Well, EK from East Legon says, Charlie, let's ask Bad for a solution to all Ghana's problems. Well, I'm assuming that it has data on our problems.
I mean, it's not difficult.
I mean, it's you see, I don't want to say much, but
Michael says it's not difficult.
I don't want to say much, but you see, the thing is that you can find solutions. You can look at a similar situation, because there's no situation that's happening to Ghana that hasn't happened somewhere else before. True. You can look and then you can find solutions. But so have fun trying it.
Why he should go and try. So Emmanuel's asking for a podcast URL. Emmanuel, it's available on Spotify. Just look for Joy Geek Squad, Joy, and then just add a Geek Squad. If not, I'll have the producer reply to your message with it. Or you can join us on the Telegram group where I'll share it. t.me/Joy Geek Squad. t.me/Joy Geek Squad. And so we're going to go for a quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll be wrapping up. And
I actually have some funny news.
Okay, you save that till when we come back. We'll be right back.
Doing Doing gets you learning. Learning starts you wondering. Wondering triggers thinking. Thinking becomes planning. Planning evolves to trying. After trying, you're succeeding, winning, owning. Now, doing that starts with outdoing your limits. Outdo them all with MTN. So, what are we doing today?
Geek Squad.
All right, so I said I had fun news.
Uh-huh.
Now, if you didn't know, EA Sports is losing.
Wait, when you say EA Sports, you have to give us time to add it.
Okay, sorry. Please go ahead.
Say it again.
So, if you didn't know, EA Sports
It's in the game.
is ending involuntarily its partnership with FIFA.
Oh, it has been discussed for a long time, finally.
Yes,
It's about to
so
happen.
later this year, they are ending this relationship, which means that EA Sports can no longer use the name FIFA for their very popular football game.
So those who play FIFA 23, FIFA 22, FIFA 21, all the way to France 98.
Yeah, that's it.
Why are you looking at me?
I think it goes back 30 years if my research is right. However, FIFA has already started rebranding, and if you didn't, many people didn't notice, but they've put it in football stadiums and stuff like that. And the new FIFA game or football game from EA Sports is actually going to be called EA Sports FC. Now, the vice president of this new brand says that the key will be ensuring players will realize what is changing, but perhaps most crucially, what is not. I have only one question.
When you say players, in this,
That is those who play the video
I
game.
mean, I thought it was the players on the
pitch.
pitch. Yeah.
Now, my only question is that: is it going to be Merseyside Red or is it going to be Liverpool?
I have no idea what that means.
So none of you play FIFA football games. God, I can't believe I'm the only one. So basically, in Pro
We
Evolution,
used to.
Pro Evolution Soccer, that didn't have the rights to name.
Even that name's changed.
Yeah. So PES didn't have the rights to name teams the way they were. So instead of calling it Liverpool, it called it by its traditional name, which is Merseyside Red.
Right.
So now that you've lost your whole FIFA deal, the question with EA Sports FC is that these changes that are going to happen, will Real Madrid still be Real Madrid? Or
Juventus on FIFA is not Juventus anymore.
yes. So now these are the questions that many players who have been playing for years would be very, very worried about.
If you like to sponsor Geek Squad, you can offer us a PS5 so you can find some of these things out.
So Mamle Counterman said, good evening. This AI chatbot is breaking boundaries. When Apple jumps on it, it will be a whole different level.
She said it, not me.
Well, it's interesting. I'd like to see what data Apple would feed it, because that's all it's about.
Yeah, but
And Apple has always been privacy by design.
but that
So
doesn't mean
it's-
that they don't get a lot of data.
But here's the thing: if
it did, Siri would have been the best assistant.
yeah, because everybody notices that Siri's nerf came about when Apple took privacy by design seriously. So it didn't become as good as the Google Assistant.
Even Bixby is smarter than Siri.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. Let's see what they do with it. It may not necessarily be a new AI that's like, oh, let's do a lot of what current AI does. We are able to emulate human behavior and speak to a different. Let's see how they pull it off, because you know how they tend to be when they do these things.
Well, in tech gadget news, since we're about to run out of time, Xiaomi, if you didn't know Xiaomi, they're the Chinese version of Apple. Yeah, unpopularly so. We don't want to call them the Chinese version of Apple, but essentially, looking at the new device, I don't think they deserve to be called a Chinese Apple anymore.
It's radically different.
Yes.
I actually watched the event. It was quite painful to watch, but
it was indeed. Yeah, because it was Chinese and it was dubbed.
Yeah, the dub wasn't that great. It was a live dub too.
It was a live dub, so it wasn't that great. But the device was very impressive.
I don't know. You see, okay, I guess this goes back to what we discussed earlier today. I think tech devices have plateaued for me, and I'm slowly losing interest.
Well, they have plateaued for a long time. It's just that now, I think smartphones are now just focusing too much on cameras.
And you know what's interesting? When I saw it, the very first thing I thought about was that, hey, Samsung dropped this thing sometime in 2020.
Yeah, S29, S9.
Yeah, with the camera, the whole camera,
the variable aperture.
No, Samsung made.
Oh, you're talking about the Galaxy camera?
Yeah, phone.
Yeah.
So when I saw it, that's the first thing that came out. Oh, this is just a slimmer version of what Samsung did a long time ago.
Yeah. And with the lenses in there. So Samsung did a Galaxy camera. Samsung did a variable aperture.
Yeah.
So Xiaomi put all of those into
together.
one device.
I mean, Samsung should go at it again.
Branded, Leica branded. You know, I've seen some reviews. It's looking good, but it was, it actually looked like it was going to be way more awesome.
Yeah, but it just kind of felt a bit meant to me. I watched a few. I don't know. You know what? It's okay. You keep talking. Yeah, I don't want to use my jadedness to speak. Well, but on a tangent, MKBHD has released sneakers.
Sneakers,
today.
yes. MKBH Kambu.
Yeah.
They look fire though.
They look like Jordans.
Yeah, I don't care.
They
still look fire.
We'll
never wear them in Accra though.
It's red and black. Why don't you wear it in Accra?
With that white band at the bottom.
Which sneakers doesn't have white band at the bottom?
Okay, I use black Air Forces.
Well, yeah. Well, so there've been other, devices launched. We've seen Asus launch their ROG, the new ROG device, which, oh my goodness, I want. Just for the reasons that the battery is so big and it can last so long. And Exynos 2400 is in the news, even though it's not official. I mean, this sounds very technical, so apologies to those who don't get it, but Exynos is Samsung's own processor for their mobile devices, which hasn't been doing great, but their new iteration seems to be competing with the creme de la creme. Today I saw news that it was actually almost at par with the M2 processor.
Hey.
Yes, according to benchmarks. So yes, that's it for today. We're switching over to the news. My name is Kobe Spike Nkrumah. I've been doing this with Winston Watcher and